Have you ever wondered what's the number one reason young people stay poor? Like honestly, let's face it, most students, how much money do they really have to spend? For most of them, they don't even have a couple $100 in their bank's account. And I know what I'm speaking about, because a couple years back, I had almost $0 in my own bank account. Now you see, most people think that if you want to learn something, you need to learn from somebody who is successful at whatever they do. And that is completely true. I'm not saying they're wrong. However, most people, they think that they can only learn from successful people. In reality, you can learn both from successful people and unsuccessful people. It's kind of like when people say you learn more from the failures than from your successes. And so in that same manner, you can learn what to do from somebody who is successful, but you can also learn what not to do from people who do not have the sort of life that you want. For instance, you want to be fit and healthy. You can learn from the guy who is fit and healthy. Obviously, you're not going to learn what to do when it comes to health and fitness from somebody who is obese. However, you can learn what not to do. And that is insanely powerful, because what most people don't realize is that oftentimes what trips them up, what prevents them from getting what they want, it's that they think they're doing the right thing, when in reality they're doing it all wrong. Because you can be consistent forever, but if you are consistent at the wrong thing, you're not going to get the results that you want. And the same concept applies in business. I use the fitness and health metaphor, but in business it's the same thing. Most people, as soon as they finish university, they think they're done, they can just relax, make money, and everything will be fine. And then a couple decades down the line, those people, they're not making as much money as they want to be making, and they start to complain about everything. They're going to complain about the prices of stuff at the grocery store, they're going to say that they pay too much taxes, which honestly it's true, but they're going to think that they need more money, that they earned more money because they have a degree. In reality, the market, it doesn't care whether you have a degree or not. The market cares about one thing and one thing only, that you provide a solution, whether it be a product or a service, it doesn't really matter, but they want a solution to their painful problems. And trust me, that is the only reason why someone is ever going to pull out their credit card and to buy from you. That's why so many people just get things mixed up when they try to start a business. They think about themselves only. They start a business based on their passion, based on what they love to do, but they don't ask themselves for a second, is there even a need for what I'm providing? And that's how some people, they end up opening up a yoga studio in a city which most people don't care about yoga. And then they go bankrupt and, they wonder why. Just like when you start a business or you start to invest in like the real estate market or the stock market, a lot of people are going to say, oh, don't do that, it's risky. But first, it's only risky if you invest in something that you don't understand, and that's on you because you didn't do your research beforehand. And then if you don't take any risks at all, then how can you expect some rewards? It doesn't make any sense. As you start your business, for instance, you are going to learn some lessons along the way. I've learned so much from online courses and books, and trust me, without those online courses, without those books, I wouldn't have been able to successfully start my own online business, because there is so much stuff to know that honestly, it's easy to make a mistake, and because you don't have anyone there to guide you, you won't even realize that you are making the mistake in the first place. Like a lot of people, if you talk to them about fitness coaching, they're going to see that, okay, it can be useful because obviously if you perform the movement the wrong way, you're going to like tear your bicep, or you might not injure yourself, but you won't get the results that you want. So a lot of people, they think that it makes sense to, if you want good results, to go see a personal trainer or to buy some kind of a workout program. However, when it comes to business, a lot of people are going to say, oh no, it must be a scam. But this is ridiculous. It's the same thing. Everything that I know about business today, I didn't just invent it, and I didn't learn everything while on the battlefield. I learned a lot from, like I said, courses, mentors, books, YouTube videos also, because you need both. It's like some people, they are like textbook addicts. They only learn in books and videos, they watch all the courses, they've bought all the programs, but they never take action. Or if they do take action, they do things halfway. And so then they wonder why they're not getting results. It's because you need to learn massively, but you also need to take massive action. I'm sure you've heard knowledge is power. So many people said that, but I mean, like I often say, they always forget this insanely important part of the equation, which is that knowledge is power, but only if you apply it. Because you could have all the knowledge in the world about how to build a muscular, strong physique, or on how to meditate, to have more peace of mind, to cure depression, or you might know everything about business on paper, but if you never get started, you never go in the gym, you never meditate, you never start your business, all that knowledge, what is it worth? Because you see, life is kind of like a video game. I don't personally like video games, I don't play them. I've played some in the past a couple times, but it was never excessive, because to be completely honest with you, my computers, they were never powerful enough to run even the most basic games. And to some degree, I'm glad, because I never fell for that addiction, like many people did. It's kind of like if you never have alcohol in your environment, then you can never become an alcoholic, because you simply don't have access to it. Life is the real video game. And so in that video game, we are all looking to obtain the same things. It might manifest in different ways, but at the end of the day, like I said, we all want the same things. We all want to be loved, to be admired, to be respected, so to have a high social status, to have freedom, abundance, to be happy. That's that's what we're all looking for. It's like the big quest of the video game. But the thing is, if you want to go to the next level, you will need to change. You'll need to evolve who you are as a person. You'll need to do things that you're not used to doing, that you didn't do before. So you'll have to get out of your comfort zone many times. And oftentimes, you're not going to feel like it. I mean, it's a story I sometimes tell, but before I started my own consulting business, it took me 7 months of procrastination because I was just afraid. I was afraid of rejection. I was afraid of people treating me very badly because of my childhood. And so my subconscious was trying to protect me by making me procrastinate, by not allowing me to take action. But then, starting my business, it ended up being the best thing I've ever done. And that really goes to show you, you can't listen your mind all of the time. Because believe it or not, but your brain, it is not designed to help you to succeed in any way. Your brain, its job is to keep you safe. And what's the easiest way to do that? To put it simply, it's going to prevent you from taking risks. But the downside is that nothing will ever happen to you. Like, just think about this for a second. Nothing will ever happen to you. And you might have heard oftentimes, the more you learn, the more you earn. And just like many other quotes, it is 100% accurate. But like I said, it's not only the learning part which matters, it's also the doing aspect. I mean, I could know everything on how to make great YouTube videos, but if I don't make YouTube videos and publish them, what's the point? I would never grow that channel. Most people, regardless of how old they are, they're never going to make $1 million. And let alone by 25, that is a massive accomplishment. Like, I know on social media all day long you're going to be bombarded with those 20-year-old millionaires. But at the end of the day, you've got to understand, that's the massive exception right there. And on social media, everybody's trying to look like they have a better life than they actually do. So if you yourself, you compare your everyday life to everything that you see on social media, you're going to be massively depressed and disappointed. I mean, you can even take a look at my pictures on Instagram and get pissed off. You might feel jealousy, you might feel resentful. And while I was always inspired from a very young age, like ever since I was a kid, I've always been inspired by people driving supercars, by successful business people. But honestly, sometimes, I'll be completely honest with you, I would see those people on Instagram showing me an incredible life and I would just get pissed off. I would be jealous because I thought, those people, come on, they're not working 1,000 times more than I am. They're not smarter, they're not more talented. And I'm speaking from my own perspective a couple years back. I would look at those guys and I'd be pissed off because I knew that I deserved this kind of life as well. And if you feel the same way, if you think that you deserve to live the best possible life, to dine in the best restaurants in the world, to stay in the best hotels in the world, to spoil the people that you love, to make anywhere from 10,000 all the way up to $100,000 a month, maybe even more. You want to experience the top 1% lifestyle. If you want those things and deep down you know that you deserve to experience this kind of life, then you're right, because the path that they have been pushing onto us all of our lives, which is go to school, study hard, get massively in debt, get good grades, get a good degree, get a job and then pay taxes, and then one day you die. And it's like, okay, when do you get to enjoy life? Oh, during my 2 weeks a year of vacations. Okay. And I'm going to say something, and it might shock some people, and probably lots of people are going to click on this video, they're going to dislike it, to bash me in the comments, but you know what? I don't care. Growing up low income, I've been around many people who had a very bad mindset about money, but I've also been around people who are very wealthy. And the way that they think, I mean, the difference in mindset is night and day. And I mean, fair enough, some people, they would have a better starting point in life than others. But from what I've personally seen, most middle class or low income people, they were not asking themselves the right questions. And that is why they were always stuck in the same point in life. Like, at some point I had a teacher and he said this one thing to me, and I didn't reply anything at the time because I really do think that my answer would have shocked him completely. We were having some kind of small talk, and I hate small talk, to be honest, but you know, that's what most people do. And he was telling me, you know, the crazy thing is that year after year, it's the same thing. Like, life doesn't change. It's like a continuation of the same thing year after year. And that's depressing. And I mean, I completely agree. If you see that month after month, you're not making more money, or at least year after year, your life isn't getting better, I mean, that's disappointing to me. That's depressing. I personally find my fulfillment or happiness from setting challenges for myself and seeing that I crushed them completely. If I don't set goals for myself, and if I don't reach my goals, I feel like there's no point in living. It becomes very depressing for me. But the thing that I wanted to say to him, which at the time I did not, is that it was his responsibility to make sure that the next year would not be the same as the last. Because at the end of the day, you've got to realize that no one is coming to save you. Some people like me, for instance, they're going to try to guide you on your journey to success. Because me personally, it's thanks to other people that I am to where I am today. I didn't do everything myself all alone. Every single successful person that you see, most of them, they might be self-made in the sense that they did not inherit their wealth, but trust me, plenty of people have helped them on the way. Like Jeff Bezos, do you think he's doing everything himself? Do you think he's coding the website and also doing the customer support and also shipping out the orders and also coming up with new designs? Obviously not. And that's one of the big differences also between school and the real world. In school, you get punished if somebody helps you to do your homework or to pass a test. But in the real world, it's the cheaters that win. And the reason why we need to put cheaters in quotation marks, it's because you're not cheating. In my opinion, what's negative would be to scam people. Like you promise an outcome, you say, oh, 100% it's guaranteed, no worries, it's gonna be easy, and then obviously they can't get that outcome, so in a way it is a scam. But that's kind of what many universities have been doing when they say, hey, don't worry, pay 300k and you'll get this degree, and then you'll get a super nice job, you'll make 100k per year, you're gonna be super rich and enjoy your life and everything is gonna be perfect. And then in reality, those people, they get out of university, they can't even get a job. And since you're watching this video right now, you might want to make a change in your life. You want to start a business or you want to grow your existing business. You need to take control of your own life because like I said, no one is going to come in to save you. It's kind of like if you go to a fitness coach because you want to get in shape, they can instruct you on what to do, they can guide you, but at the end of the day, they can't work out for you, they can't eat the healthy diet for you, they can't lose the weight or build the muscle for you. You've got to do it. Now, if you often watch videos like this or you often watch videos on my channel, you are most likely part of the minority of people who is very ambitious. Like I said, you want the best life for yourself. You want to be able to travel whenever you want, literally on a whim decide to go on a holiday. You want to spoil the people that you love. You want to be able to buy anything without having to worry about the price tag. You might even want to become a millionaire. But just like he said, to be completely honest, most people, they will never become millionaires because the top 1%, it's called the top 1% for a reason. There wouldn't even be such a thing as a top 1% if there wasn't a bottom 99%. So you see, one thing that I understood from a very young age is that I would not change the rules of the game. I wasn't going to change the fact that some people are rich, some people are poor, because let's face it, what can you do about it? It's always been this way. People complain about inflation today, and obviously, I mean, it's affecting them in a negative way. But back then, we still had kings, queens, emperors, so it's not like people were more free. And I mean, if anything, back then, they didn't have the crazy opportunity which we have today with the internet and with social media. I mean, before, if you were from a low-income family, you were like a peasant, how would you end up and become super rich? Especially like in your 20s or 30s. It was impossible. It was either you were born rich or you were born poor, and you wouldn't change. And nowadays, I see people, they complain about having to work 2 to 4 hours a day on their online business. I mean, this is a joke, because the thing that you need to realize is that if you want to have the best things in this world, you want to be a millionaire, you're going to have to work harder than you think, for longer than you think. Like before starting my own consulting business, and even before starting this YouTube channel, I've tried other businesses, I've tried the dropshipping, I've tried like growing Instagram pages and selling them, or selling some courses on Instagram, but I mean, at the time, I really had shiny object syndrome. I couldn't focus on one thing, I couldn't stick to one business model, so I would always fail, obviously. But one thing I have learned in business is that volume negates luck. To give you an example, let's say you reach out to 5 people, you pitch them your product, they don't want it. What do? Do you just quit? Now in comparison, another guy, he reaches out to 50,000 people. Hypothetical scenario. Do you really think he's not going to get some customers? So that goes to show you, the more you do, the more your chances of hitting it big. If you want people to notice you, you've got to go and to grab their attention. So if you really do want to become a millionaire, for instance, be prepared to do all of the necessary sacrifices. Like if you say you're sick and tired of being broke, but you spend 5 hours a day on your phone, on social media, like scrolling on Instagram or watching TikTok reels, or every night you watch Netflix for like 3 hours, honestly, you don't want it bad enough. Because trust me, there is another guy, he's hungry as hell, and he's going to do whatever the hell it takes. He's going to work as hard as it takes to get his first customers and to succeed and to break free from this hell. I've been on one-on-one calls with many people, aspiring business owners. Some of them, they had started their business, but they weren't making any money and they wanted to get to 10, 15, even 20 or $30,000 a month. And some of them, they were students. They had some savings, but they were not making any money. And so I asked them, how do you go about getting customers? What's your process like? What does your day-to-day look like? And you'd be surprised to find out that all they would do all day long is to just watch some YouTube videos. And you might learn from YouTube videos, but like I said, you need to apply what you learn. Otherwise, it's completely pointless, especially in business. Because a lot of people, they say they want it bad enough. They say they want this incredible life. But truthfully, are they willing to make the sacrifices? Just look at their calendar. What do they do on a daily basis? Your actions, they speak for yourself. Now, if you are part of that minority of people who actually want to do the work, to do what it takes to get to 6 or even 7 figures a year, I've made a free video in which I'm going to analyze every popular online business model. Together, we're going to take a look at the pros and at the cons of each of those businesses, and I'm also going to share with you for completely free the 3-step process that you can use to start your own business today and to start getting your first customers as soon as possible. If you're interested, the link is in the description below.